Buko. Now we talk about Australian and American beef. The difference between Australian and American beef, one of which is more expensive. Steak made in restaurant in Indonesia usually use beef from Australia and United States. Australian beef has a number of differences from American beef. The price of beef from America is more expensive than Australia. Even so, Indonesians have long loved American beef, especially for those who have more purchasing power. Apart from price, there is another aspect that differentiates Australian and American beef. First, beef feet affect the texture of the meat. See photos illustration of an Australian cow on a meadow. Cows from America are fed grains such as corn and soybean. This type of bean is called grain-fed beef. Thanks to the feed, the texture of American beef is softer and more fatty. If you are a fan of juicy and tender steak, then you can try American beef. Meanwhile, Australian cattle are fed a mixture of grass and grain, so that the texture of the beef is more textured and fatty. There are also Australian cattle that are fed only grain and grass. The color of the meat from cow that eat grass is darker red. Meanwhile, beef from cow that eat whole grain tends to have a marbling style that meets the texture of the meat. 2. Meat grading system. The meat grading system in America and Australia is also different. The United States Department of Agriculture, or USDA, defined three categories for quality beef, namely prime, choice, and select. Meat is considered quality if it has intramuscular fat. This fat is commonly found in large quantity in beef from cow that eat whole grain. According to the American grading system, grass-fed beef does not rank, although there are sometimes special cases. Meat from grass-fed cow is included in the grading system. However, the value tend to be low. Meanwhile, the assessment of meat in Australia, or Meat Standard Australia (MSA), emphasizes the quality of each cut of meat, such as the level of tenderness, freshness, and taste. The quality of Australian beef is not seen in terms of its intramuscular fat. The Meat Certification Organization in Australia, called the YAUS Meat Chiller Assessment, assesses each beef carcass based on 6 factors. The quality of beef carcass was seen from the color, fat, amount of marbling, a muscle area, rib weight, and maturity. 3 reasons the quality of Australian beef is famous in the world. Beef from Australia is known almost all over the world. What makes Australian meat sell well in the global market? On the occasion of launching the beef campaign from MLA on Thursday 27/8/2020, which was attended by Supply Chain Technical Specialist Meat and Livestock Australia, David Carew explained the ins and outs of the meat industry in Australia. This is a series of activity, a comprehensive system of food safety, quality assurance, and traceability from farm to plate is the integrity of the Australian red meat industry. He explained there are several ways of patterns used by cattle breeders in Australia in getting good quality beef. Here's the explanation. First, ideal home. Because Australia has a climate and large tract of land, this allows Australian cattle to live in a natural environment all year round. As an island nation, we are naturally protected from disease. We are also committed to environmental sustainability, with a zero carbon target by 2030, said David. This is the reason why cattle in Australia have a good environment and are immune to several diseases and bacteria. 2. Peace of mind, trust, quality, and integrity. On farm in South Wales, Australia. Australia maintains high standards of food safety and quality control. Each cow is under the control of the National Livestock Identification System, or NLIS. Then there is the Livestock Production Assurance System, or LPA, which states that the farm is audited to ensure safe, high-quality red meat. We also guarantee that all Australian beef entering Indonesia is guaranteed halal because it has gone through the halal certification process approved by the MUI, said David. 3. Pure enjoyment or satisfaction. Australia beef has been shipped to many countries, and it is certain that the beef sent is healthy and delicious. Meat that has good quality is also determined by the food eaten by the cow. In, in addition to pasture for feeding the cow, a high nutrient mixed grain feed method is also employed which increases the marbling or distributing of white fat in the meat. He explained that if cows are raised in a good environment, it will produce healthy cow.